Hello chickies, welcome to the Fully Booked Penguin channel. I am Hannah and today we are going to do a bit of a reading vlog. If, you know, I can get a word in edgewise between the dogs barking, the airplanes, the cars and the birds. Hello there. I'm not gonna comment on how I look because this is just what you get, and you know that if you watch this channel. So, I have a little bit of an issue, and I decided, you know what would help with the issue I am facing? A reading vlog. Now people are gonna walk past. That'll be why the dogs were going off. Somebody was having the nerve of walking by. Don't they know that the world is the dog's oyster? So I have been doing some reading this month. We're over halfway through the month and I have completed all the physical books on my list. Here's the thing. I am preferring having physical books over having like ebooks. And unfortunately the rest of the books on my list are ebooks. And they're kind of a vein where I can't really get the physical, and I don't like buying the physical unless I really like the book. So that gives me the dilemma of I now must indeed read ebooks on my little Chromebook iPad thing. So in this video, I thought you'd join me, even though you'll join me after I've done it, but I thought it would give me the inspiration to read if I could talk to the camera intermittently and tell you about the books. Well, I may as well do this one. So first up, we have a book here. Oh, you really can't. You really can't see that. I'm like, here you go. A view of the veranda. How lovely is that? First up we have The Huntress by Carrie Cotton. And it is a medieval Christian fiction. And it is book 1 in the Huntress series. I believe we're following a bit of an enemies to arranged partners for an alliance, and then a battle and war, I suppose, against another enemy. My enemy's enemy is my friend, even though I am the enemy of the enemy, but together we can be the enemy of the enemy. So that's the situation there. Now I did start it, and unfortunately, how do I say this? I'm not a big fan when they add almost like the climax scene right at the beginning, and then they're like, and back in time we go to how we got to this point, and then you get to that point later in the book, and then you have the resolution. I feel like it's like, here's the scene right now at the beginning, and now let's do all the boring stuff before we get here, and I'm like, oh, well, I don't really care how we got here, I just want to see where we go. So I'm not the biggest fan of that. I guess it's not a spoiler because they have it as the sort of blurb or the intro to the book to get you interested, so it's not a spoiler. It's just, I don't know, I'm weird like that. So we start in 821 AD, but then we go to 15 hours. Nope. We go to 15 years earlier. I don't mind if they start at the start of, say, a plot point. Like they're sent to go to blah-de-blah, and then we get sent back in time to see how we ended up in this position where we have to go to blah-de-blah. But I don't like being, it's like, they get a arranged marriage, and we're right there, and then we go back in time. And I'm like, oh, so I just want to see what happens in the marriage. I don't really care how they got to this point. Like, all I need to know is that they're enemies for whatever reason. They've now made an arranged marriage, and then we can just move on. You know, we can just continue with the marriage. I don't really need to know why they're enemies. I just assume they're at war. But again, that's just a personal thing that makes me less enjoying of the book. Is that English? I don't know. But it's not like I throw the book aside. It's just I'm like, oh, okay. Then we have The Retired Assassin's Guide to Country Gardening. And it is a paranormal mystery? Cozy mystery? So we're following Dante, who is a retired assassin, obviously. And he goes to a town in order to relax and kind of mind his own business. But unfortunately, he is in a small town in New Zealand, and they all are sticky beaks, and they all like to drop by. So he also has this greenhouse at his house, and a gardener bloke who, you know, may have some paranormal stuff happening around him, is like, let me look after your flower in your garden house because it's precious. And he's like, okay, sure. Then we also have Dante going to a bodyguard at a party where somebody ends up dead. I think I'm like 15% through that book, and I was enjoying it, but we have switches in point of view, and I don't really care about the other. Like, I was like, I just want to be in my retired assassin's head. I don't really care what everyone else is doing. Again, a personal thing. It's gonna be fine. But yes, so somebody's dead. This other lady who's trying to solve the mystery too, and then we have the gardening boy who we just got, and so we know something about him, which I had already suspected. The bird had suspected him too. Yeah. And then we got sort of one chapter in this bloke's point of view, in other words, to say how slime bucket he is. And that's all we got, really. But I just wanted to be with Dante and his cat that he didn't know he had but now has adopted. So I'm struggling through the other people's chapters. So there's that one. Then we have The Wind and the Wild, where we're following a girl who has picked up little kittens from the border to the Fae world. And of course there's other different Fae things going on, but there's also a wolf attack or an attack on the border. So everyone's been put on alert. But it's enjoyable. It's just I have had an aversion to reading on this. I'm like, I just want to hold a book. I just want to flip the pages. And you don't get that with this. So I kind of just zone out or, you know, go watch YouTube instead. I've been watching Inspector Rex in Vienna. Some of those episodes though you have to skip through because my goodness, I didn't realise Inspector Rex was so dark. And had nudity in it. I just thought it was about a dog. The things your parents stop you from watching as a kid, and you're like, oh, why? I was just watching the puppy dog solve mysteries. It wasn't just a puppy dog solving mysteries. I mean, the puppy dog does pretty much solve all the mysteries, but at the same time, it's an adult show. So, anyway, I don't know why I went on to Rex. So we are going to read these books, and we're going to have great fun, but I needed to speak about it because otherwise I will not read them. I'll just be like, this is so tiring. So I don't have any aesthetic shots to show about like, flipping pages, but I realised I watch tons of people where you don't see them reading. They just check in. And so I'm hoping that if I just check in, people will like that too. Just hear my opinions on the book. And the opinions of the birds, it seems, and dogs, and cars, and traffic, and trains, who like to make their voices heard out here on the veranda. I mean, it is spring, so I can't really fault the birds, but if everything else could just calm down, that'd be great. Yeah, I know, Eddie. Cockatoos, so loud. Oh my gosh. Anyway, let's get to reading. I think I'll pick up The Retired Assassin's Guide to Gardening since I'm the most of the way through that one. So I'll give you updates. I might have to switch between books if I get bored though. But I'll let you know. I have an update. We are at 33% through The Retired Assassin's Guide to Country Gardening. I'm currently doing a readathon with Paperbacks and Ponytails. Katie over there is doing her reading sprints for the day. I'm liking it, but I'm not loving it. Also, I think because the main bad guy is revealed, so it's not a mystery to who the bad guy is. We're just investigating how he did it. I'm less interested in mysteries where you know who's done it. You're just trying to figure out how they did it and get them caught and figure out all the other bad stuff they've probably done in the meantime as well. The villain is very like, hi, I'm the bad guy. So I am going to continue reading it, but yeah, it's just sort of it's a book I'm reading rather than, oh, I'm really loving this book. So we'll see how they solve the mystery, but knowing who's done it takes away some of the fun. So we're just gonna continue doing sprints and reading. So. There comes a time in your life when you have to be tactical. You have to come up with a plan. Sorry, I'm just gonna put that back for a second so I can go about this other thing. It's like Caleb's thing. It's not. It's nowhere near that. But anyway. So it's a cool overcast day. So I can't just sit in the sun and read books. So instead, we're going to employ other methods. I'm currently 43% into the Retired Assassin's Guide to Country Gardening. Currently, we are following our retired assassin, the gardener, the old lady detective, and also, as I said, the bad guy. And we kind of get glimpses into other people too, but they're the main 4 point of views we have currently. And we are currently, our gardener and Dante are the suspects, but we know they're innocent because we know who the bad person is. So we're kind of just trying to not get in trouble with the police, but also avoiding the police and finding clues. But there's a whole heap of like gangsters and mafia people around it. It's really strange. Is it just me, or does that look like really blue right there? Almost like a bruised. Oh, that is, oh, that's freaking me out. Let's not do that. I don't mind it, but I'm not like flying through it. So I decided we're going to swap between the book and doing some writing. That way I can do, say, 15 minutes of writing, 15 minutes of reading, and see if we can get through some stuff today. Don't know how long I will last in this seat at the computer though, so we'll see how many hours I manage to do. Maybe 1, let's be honest. Before I retire to a lying down position, I was going to have a bed day, but my little brain couldn't stop thinking, and it was bored of every single thing that I could watch. So now we're here writing and reading instead. Anyway, so that's where we're at, and that's what we're going to do. I'm also going to listen to some tunes. So I knuckled down yesterday and I finished the Retired Assassin's Guide to Country Gardening. And we are ready to do a little review. I was interested for the last 35%. I was locked in from there. But before that, it was a struggle. I did have a tough time getting through it. I had to be like, no, let's just keep reading. Let's just focus. It was partially the book and partially I just did not enjoy the digital aspect. I was just craving a book. But it's okay. We got through it. Well, that's what matters. So recap, the Retired Assassin's Guide to Country Gardening is about Dante, who is a retired assassin, believe it or not, and he moves to New Zealand, and there he ends up wrapped up in a murder that takes place at a party he's meant to be bodyguarding for. And then him and his gardener are actually the main prime suspects. And so a older lady who's in town and seems to have her finger in every pie, she is there to help them maneuver around the police and solve this murder. But you know who did it. Now there is one thing to know, about 30 or less % of this book is actually focusing on the retired assassin, and the rest is shared between 3 other point of views. And only 10% or less even mentions gardening. So if you're going into this book thinking it's about a retired assassin and maybe country gardening, it's not. I think if you name a book The Retired Assassin's Guide to blank and blank, you kind of need to have the retired assassin as your main focus and character. But I really felt like we were introduced, he was our main character, and then very quickly we segued off and he was no longer our main character. He was a shared main character. Here's the thing, you get to 2 chapters in the villain's point of view, and I feel like it didn't add anything to the story. We did get to find out that he was antagonistic with the person that ended up dead. But otherwise I felt there was no real point to his point of view. I felt like the author could have chosen another way to get that information across, rather than have 2 chapters in his point of view. Especially when we've already got 3 other points of view. So I'm kind of torn. I enjoyed the last, as I say, 35% and some of the beginning. I liked Dante's point of view, who is the assassin, and Charlie grew on me. But at times I did wonder about pacing, whether some points were really necessary, or whether we could have found a different way of doing it that was a little more interesting. It's a difficult one because I really want to take away some points for us knowing who did it right from the beginning. He is kind of a cartoon villain, so it's obvious it's him, and we're just trying to prove it's him. So I think I'm going to settle on a 3 stars for that book. I ended up enjoying multiple points, and I found the AA meetings really interesting and funny, and some of the premises, but just, yeah, the execution was a little off for me. So I don't think I'll be picking up book 2. I think I've had an okay time, but I won't be continuing, which means I have to find another different cozy mystery, murder mystery series, because I like murder mysteries, but this one just wasn't quite there. So I was trying to figure out which book I would do next, and I think we're going to do The Huntress by Carrie Cotton. I just feel like that's where my interest is at the current point in time. I've also got to do some filming for a video, which I'm going to try and put some effort into. Let's see if anything that's in my brain ends up being executed, because that's the one trouble with me. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. So we'll move on to The Huntress next, and hopefully, because it's a bit of it's a medieval fantasy, but I do hope there's a bit of romance in it. I think I need something romantic. Who knows? It's the future, which I'm not currently in, so who knows what future Hannah will decide. So I thought it was going to be a sunny day, but it's actually a blustery, windswept, cloudy day, so the clouds keep coming from that direction instead of the usual that direction. So we'll see. I think part of why I want to go inside is because there's a bear knee. I'm wearing shorts because I was like, sunshine equals shorts weather. Turns out, no. It's still very early spring, and therefore the clouds and the cool breeze are making themselves known. So I think I jumped the gun with the shorts. I think that's my main issue. So sick, my gosh. Oh well, yeah, you just get me as I am, and I am sick always. Okay, so I've started The Huntress by Carrie Cotton. Here's the thing, I cried. Second chapter, they have you in tears. What is this? I need joy and happiness. I really could do without tears for a while. The rest of my life really would be great. However, something that will always make me happy is the line in Love and Deepspace where Caleb says, "What was that, pipsqueak?"
What was that, pipsqueak?
I just, whenever a reel pops up and they have that as the audio, it makes me so unreasonably happy. I'm just like, wow. That is hilarious. It is okay. That's so funny for those in the know. But also, I got his new card today, and it is one of the most cutest, funniest cards of his. It has to be a favourite of mine. Finally, some happiness. Some true happiness in there. In the banter. Love banter. Anyway, I'm getting completely off track on it. Technically, it is a digital book, though. It's a digital story. Because it's on the phone and it's a game. Does it count? Anyway, so after reading chapter 1, because there's the prologue, then chapter 1, I really didn't feel like reading anymore. I was like, how dare you make me cry? The nerve. Change of quality and place. I read another chapter. You don't know what's going on. So I'm hoping one thing, and we'll see whether it pans out. But it is quite dark and serious currently. Hello chickies. Okay, so So I was preparing for my TBR video, and I saw that a mutual has a beta read of a short story, and I was like, me please. So I get to beta read. Somebody accepted me, yay! Alright, so I've got the document and I've got my tunes, and we're going to read through her little short story. I initially just read through, no editing brain or like further thoughts, just to get the story as is, and then we can go over a little more critically after that. So we shall see. I can also comment, and and I love commenting. So let's get a go on. Hello, I'm back in my comfy because it's flippin' freezing. It's not actually, but I like to think it is. It gives me an excuse to wear fluffy jumpers. I realized I never checked in again yesterday. So I did read the story and I enjoyed it. It was really good. It was really sweet. Like, the romance was sweet and I was so happy. It was good. I had a few feedback and stuff, but she appeared to appreciate it, so I'm so happy. Here's the thing, I don't know whether people want really in-depth, like, grammar and stuff edits, or whether they just want vibes or anything. So I went with a mix of vibes, but mostly, grammar and then feedback on the pace or what things worked and that sort of stuff. What she could have played around with her extra words. But I had such fun. And then I've also filmed my TBR for October. I'm participating in Katie's readathon, so I'm pretty excited for that, actually. I am doing it completely different from what usually people do for my first readathon, already breaking the rules. Classic me. I've edited the video and it's now uploading. I did a thumbnail and it's so simple. I think my creative juices are just pretty much at an all-time low. So it's not super interesting, but it does the job. It's a thumbnail. It's in theme with everything else. And I was thinking I might bake something or cook something for lunch. Also, this was originally going to be a reading vlog, and then I've just failed at reading, so it's turning into a different it's turning into a lifestyle vlog. Who knows what's happening with this one, don't ask me. I'm still waiting on my artist for my book, and it's making me literally sad. But I'm trying to have patience, and I'm trying to be like, she says she's going to be done by the 21st of October. So I've got to hear back at some point before then, and multiple times probably. And it is technically only the 26th of September. So that gives her almost a month. So I've just got to give her time, but it is very sad for me because she said that she had the rough sketch done and only had to grayscale it over the next couple of days, and I've given her a week. And I don't know, I just need patience. Lord, give me patience, because currently I ain't got none. I'm just excited and it's ruining my experience. Plus, I think because I'm waiting on it to do everything else, which really I should be writing up some descriptions and some website stuff. But again, the brain is running on such little sleep. Again, I had a horrible night last night, which is nightmares, and just couldn't sleep. So I'm suffering from chronic fatigue stuff on top of not being able to sleep. So yay, yay! I'm trying to finish one book by the end of the month. And what? I have how many days? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. 5 days to read a book. We'll see. Also, all my eyelashes are just falling out, so that's fun. Anyway, so I'm gonna go cook something, probably. I'll probably look through the recipe book first, and then see what ingredients we have, and we'll go from there. I'm so sad. I don't know what my problem is, but I am sad. Maybe I need a date loaf or something. Maybe. Anyway, so I've got to wait for my video to upload anyway. So let's go bake something. It's my bread. I've been kneading it for like so long, so now I cover it and hope for the best. I decided I was going to make bread because I have a order coming in, but they didn't have the bread, like the little crusty rolls that I wanted. So I thought, well, let me try and make it myself. Also, I haven't been able to successfully make bread before. This time, I made sure I kneaded that dough. Like, I think that was my mistake previously, is I just didn't knead the dough very long at all. And so it says the more you knead it, the better it is. So with other baking, you sort of don't want to mix it too much, but supposedly not the case with bread. So I beat it into submission, and now we have to wait and see if it rises, and then I can knead it again and then make little buns, little rolls, and then hopefully it turns out magnificent is the goal. So now we have a bit of time. I do feel like a nap after all that kneading though, so we may rest and watch something. Do you want to watch something together? I could watch an anime. I haven't watched anime in forever. Anime or K-drama, I think we're going to watch. Then we should get some writing done. I am joining the sprints tomorrow. I think there's going to be sprints. So we can probably write then and get my chapter done, but at the same time, I want to at least try today. Looks like I have very smoky eye, and I'm like, I just got the dye wrong. It does make me look slightly less, I don't know, dead inside. But also it makes me look tired because I flippin' am. I got like 4 hours sleep again, and your girl cannot survive on 4 hours sleep, except that she does because her body's like, the sun is up, we must be up. And I'm like, no. We really don't have to though. It's like, yeah. So sleep eludes me when I want it. Also, I'm currently home alone, so there were noises in the house and it kept giving me heart attacks because my imagination jumps when I'm alone, and it is a problem. But every time my little imagination was like, oh, but what if there's an intruder? I was like, Lord, if there is an intruder, you'll take care of me. Please protect the house and me. And then I would go on to do all my other prayers, because praying for myself feels selfish. I know it's not, but you know, it feels that way. So then I have to go and ask for other people and just do some praise, which I know isn't how God works. He just sees the heart, but it's how I work for myself. Me and prayer have a little bit of a misunderstanding, but I'm working on it, and hopefully with more Bible reading, me and prayer get along a bit better. There's nothing about prayer that's wrong, it's just my own brain overthinks things. So I came outside because the sun is up and there's not a spherical cloud in the sky, whereas the last few days have been just overcast or sunny for like 5 seconds. But it's sunny today and I've missed it. It's true, I've missed it. I should go for the walk, but I'm also running on no sleep, so I don't have energy to do that. But there is a readathon in like 25 minutes over on Katie's channel. I think I'm going to do some writing because my brain is not in it for reading, but I might switch to reading for like an hour in there somewhere. Also, I'm so sorry about this lighting if you can't see me. I feel like a little nap right now, actually. Once I go for a walk, I will want to nap though, because I get the post-exercise malaise or just... So I don't really want to do that and then go into writing and I've got no energy and no concentration. So I might put off the walk until after sprints and then I can have lunch. Also, I got my snacks in. Oh, they're so tempting. They're just sitting there like, snack on me. But meanwhile, not really. I don't eat large amount of snacks, and yesterday I was so full, and yeah, I still ate dinner because I had baked those cinnamon scrolls, which turned out deliciously, by the way. So good. Anyway, so I might be snacking today, or I might do my usual and think about snacking but not actually do it, because this thinking about it sustains me. Good morning. Let's see what little clips I can gather from today. So I've been in writing and reading sprints over at the Paperbacks and Ponytails channel, and I got some writing done. I did. I think, I don't know how many words I've written today so far. Let me look. Roughly 1,100-ish today so far, and I am on the last little section of my current work in progress for this chapter. This one has been an interesting one. I'm really enjoying this chapter. I think it's a really good one. I may have cried. I'm on the edge of tears right now, in fact, and it's fine. Will anyone else read this and cry? Maybe not. But I do, okay? Anyway, and so I've also been on call with my my bestie. So I've been writing and they've been cleaning. I've also been having some tiny teddies dipped in chocolate. They're pretty good. I just felt like eating constantly, and who knows why. I'm not feeling hungry at all, but I'm just like, I'm really enjoying this chapter. So I've got the last little section to do, and then we'll be done with our chapter for the week. It's also footy finals today, and I can't be bothered turning on the computer? Turning on the TV to watch that, so I probably will just spend it out on the veranda, get some reading done after I've done this. But I really want to finish the chapter before I do anything else. So chapter, then I can have lunch on the veranda with books, snacks. if I really need to eat still then, because I've got my buddy read for the day, and I also need to work on the Huntress by Carrie Cotton. But for now, I'm going to sit down, continue writing, and I'll get back to you. So I'm reading my buddy read here. I'm really only enjoying Kale's point of view, I'm going to be honest with you, but I had a little bit of a laugh because I was flipping through trying to spot where I was up to because, well, my bookmark went askew. It went away, and I'm like, I don't know where you are. However, as I flipped through, I got to page 110. And, Selene is arguing with Rowan after she was almost killed, And so she says, I will kill you. How dare. And then he cuts her off. And sometimes when I read things, I don't read all the words. My brain reshuffles them and comes up with what it says, even though it's not what it says. And so I read the next sentence as, that was not white, princess. And I said it in that voice because I'm like, has he said white instead of right? So I thought he was saying that was not right, princess. But he was putting on a condescending tone of like, that was not white, princess. And it made me laugh. And I was like, when did Rowan get so, cool with his comments? I don't recall reading it like that. But did I miss it because I was just not having the best time reading it? And then I read it properly, and it says, that was not a white princess. And I'm like, well, that detracts from the moment. I was having such fun. That was not white princess. But it wasn't. I was almost liking Rowan for a second. But now it's lost again. Anyway, so I'm on to my final chapter for the buddy read this week. Also, look, Ress hasn't been mentioned yet. For those who don't know, Ress is my favourite character. He's appeared every now and then as Selena's guard, right? But he hasn't appeared again. However, I'm to the point that if he does show up again, he's dead. He's not going to live. He is a character made to be killed if he does reappear. I'm hoping he's just a named character that Sarah has forgotten. But if he does appear again, he is going to die. And if he does die, I'm going to quit the series. I don't really care how petty that is, but if he does, you've lost me because he is the best character, aside from Fleetfoot, and he is literally one of the only reasons I care. I would rather him not appear again than die. I will continue on if he never appears again, because I'm like, at least he's safe somewhere. But if they bring him back just to kill him, that's almost an unforgivable sin for me. So will he probably die? Yes. But I'm hoping he doesn't appear, but if he does, if he does. That's the end. But at the moment, I'm enjoying Aiden. I'm enjoying Aiden, who I called Aiden, and honestly, that's his nickname for me, is Aiden, even though his name is Aiden. And Kale. Kale is also, him and Aiden are really the only ones I care about in this book. Oh, and Fleetfoot. Fleetfoot got a mention. Supposedly Fleetfoot is hogging Dorian's bed currently, so she's having a good time, so thankfully. Fleetfoot, okay. Ras hasn't appeared yet, but if he is, he's dead. And otherwise, I'm enjoying Aiden and Kale. I think it's because the two strong female characters that we have currently, they're both just snarky. That's all their character is, just snarky. Like, they will fight anyone and just think with prideful thoughts about how great they are. Also, we've been introduced to the 13, and they're all waving death flags for me. I think they're all gonna die as well, because Manon needs people to die to push her to be the main character for the Black Bigs or whatever. So, because we got her point of view, she has to have people she loves dies. So I'm thinking the 13 will die. She's part of the 13, so I guess the 12 will die. That's where we're up to. So, and you may be asking, who is rest the death flag for if he does die? And I'm like, well, obviously it's Kale. Kale hasn't had his death flag character yet. I mean, Scorched or Sorsha is for Dorian. She will die, I'm pretty sure. At least she has that vibe to her. And, I mean, Nehemiah, and that was Selena's. So there's my death flag updates. I'm pretty confident in my death flag picking. Most of the time, if I pick a character, it will most likely die, because I can just tell. I'm really hoping Sarah does not bring back Rest, because otherwise, yeah. He's gonna ripperoni and pepperoni. The last 5 pages for this week. Alright, let's go. I finished chapter 20. I'm sorry, but whenever they talk about like the Fae growling, all I can think of is that meme where the girl's like, "Meow, meow," and he just bit her. I don't know what it is with this world and like liking to bite things and suck people's blood and all that sort of gross stuff. But yeah, growl. Anyway, so she shifted. After she said she'd never shift again, she has shifted multiple times, so that's fun. And all it took was just a little bit of annoying. Just annoy her a little bit and then bite her. They like being like, I'm pathetic, I'm useless, it made me feel pathetic and useless. But pathetic is one of the favourites, and I'm just like... So he got what he wanted. And she's now shifted. It's kind of gross, to be honest. Anyway, so yeah, I don't like Rowan, and I initially thought he was going to be okay, but now couldn't care less about him. Couldn't care less about Selena or any of those Fae. So yeah, good fun time. Unfortunately, I can't just read the bits that Kale is in, because it wouldn't make sense. I don't think it would make sense. I can't even remember where I'm up to in this book. I don't even know. I can't remember the last thing I read. Now I don't know whether to just read The Huntress or go have a nap, maybe. Turn on the TV. See if the football is complete. Not that I really care. There's somebody cooking a barbecue because it's the grand final day, and I'm a little bit jealous, to be honest. I could go down there and check in. It's like, hey neighbour, I smelt you had the barbecue on. Mind if I join? I could never in a million years. We'll do my book club tonight and then hopefully get some sleep. I think it's just I'm sleep deprived, to be honest. Although you really need to know that. Good morning. I've got the heater on because it's an overcast day again, which makes me really sad. For just like no reason. I suddenly got really, really sad when I opened the window and I was like, oh, it's overcast. I was going to show you my muffin, but as I was preparing, like setting up, do I eat the bottom of the muffin first and leave the muffin top till last? Yes, I do. And I feel like that is a perfectly adequate way to eat a muffin. I also have a little orange juice here, which I just spilled everywhere. I'm 15% through the Huntress by Carrie Cotton, so that's what we're working on currently. And I have 3 days to read it in, if I want to get it in this month. Which really just takes me sitting down and reading it straight, but it's just... my concentration isn't there because of lack of sleep. So we'll see. We'll see. I've taken medicine. I've had breakfast. I'm set up here on the couch. I have my little blanket. And we'll see how I go. Good morning. The sun is here. The sun is out. The sun finally decided it would beam down on me, and I was so happy. So happy. Plus no wind to mess up the warmth. I know I talk about the weather a lot, but the weather is really affects my mood. It shouldn't. I should be grateful for the Lord's weather every day, but sometimes I just want some sun. So I'm out here and I'm going to read today because there's 2 days left in the month and I promised I would read. Decided I'm not going to get around to The Wind in the Wild. I am going to try and finish The Huntress by Carrie Cotton. We're up to page 60 of that one. I do want to finish that one. I've also got my daily read. We take a break for Sundays, of course. Prisoner of Azkaban, Harry Potter. Look, I know I'm not the target audience for this series. I'm well past their target audience. So I've been trying to just take it as it is. But at the same time, that leaves you with very little thoughts. Because you're like, okay, I saw that coming. Because, I mean, the clues are fairly obvious to me, who isn't a writer. And therefore can tell the middle grade level plot twists and characters. But anyway, we're almost finished it. I will be doing double chapter one of these days. Because there's 2 days left, but there's 3 chapters. No, 4 chapters? I've got 4 chapters left, but I kind of want to add it to my October reading. So I'm going to just double chapter it for the next 2 days, and then have a 2-day break while I start our journey through the Bible readathon. So I'm going to do that first, obviously, do my little comments. But then I have to read 152 pages every day. I think I'll be fine. I have trouble sitting down and reading on the pad. That's really the only reason. I could easily read that much. It's just my little brain is like, why aren't we reading this screen? I'm like, oh, you look at screens all day. What do you want? Anyway, so that's where we're up to with this vlog, and now I'm going to just sit and read. That's what we're going to do. And because it's such a lovely day, I might will myself into going for a walk too. But it is school holidays, so I might run into children, and that's just scary, so... I'm joking. I finished my chapters, and I did the dishes like a good little housemate. And now all the mowers, and I assume it's like a whip and snipper, unless it's a chainsaw, but I think it's, gardening stuff happening in the neighborhood, so it's very noisy. But it just adds to the spring summer ambiance, so it's fun. So now I've been distracted for a bit. I mean, I did get my reading done, but we can finally get into the Huntress. So we are swapping between, Serene. Let me go back to the pronunciation guide. Cyrene. They don't tell you how to pronounce Duncan. What if I called him June Can? Or June Khan? June Khan, what if I called him that? I'm joking. So Cyrene, we are following, she would be a princess, but she's currently queen of sort of a mostly defeated place. And then we have Duncan, who is the prince of the enemy, or one of the enemies. There's a bit of a, they killed us, so we killed them, and I'm not sure whether they really did kill them, and so therefore the repercussions of, you know, them killing them was actually incorrect. So whether it was all a have in order to attack them, or whether some other force attacked them and then these ones attacked them instead of the... You get that? Anyway. So, yeah, we have 304 pages to go. And I'll check in a little bit. Maybe at the 25% mark? Who knows? That's only in 7%. So I'll be back. I'm interrupting my own reading. I had a chat with Mum, but also I had a package arrive. So, I have here the next in the line for Jane Austen, and that is Persuasion. It's still in the same sort of vein, and the pleather sort of, or whatever it is, kind of cover. So, we have Persuasion. What I actually wanted was Mansfield Park, but Mansfield Park isn't as popular, so they don't make as many versions, or when they make versions like this, Mansfield Park isn't amongst them, and I'm like, why not? Why not? All 228 pages of it. Anyway, so it's super cute. And I think the pages are even a little bit pink, which you can't really see, but they're just a tiny bit pinkish. Which is cute. It's got a little ribbon in it. But anyway, it's cute, and it's got the quote on the back in gold, which is, "One man's ways may be as good as another's, but we'll all like our own best." As for the book, I think we're back to the current timeline-ish. Not really. We haven't fully caught up with the start of the book yet. But we're at 21% now. Also, Mum got the book. I was telling Mum about the book, and she's like, I needed a different kind of book. Scotland and that. So she's also downloaded the book on the Kindle. So I'll be able to compare notes with her when she reads it. Therefore, I have a bit of a buddy read, even though I'm trying to read it in 2 days, and I highly doubt Mum will get to it in the next 2 days, but still, gives me a bit of joy. I did grab some shapes, and now we are going to continue reading. It's been the day. Okay, it is now 7:24 p.m. And I've just been reading. As I've said before, once I get into a book, fly through it. It just took me a moment to get over my Kindle aversion, I think. We are currently at 75% through, with just under 100 pages left to go. And I'm having fun. I like it. We're into action again now. Most of the book has been more the relation and the back and forth, organising it all, but I've enjoyed it a lot. So now we're in battle, and stuff is happening all over the place. It's action, and it's great. But we do have 25% to go, and I'm like, what will happen in the last 25%? I just thought, I should probably update you before I go, yep, so I finished the book. I can't remember. We were like 21% when I last updated you. It's great. It's great stuff. It's happening. There was one bit where I didn't quite get it. I didn't quite understand the sudden shift in attitude between the main two characters, and then it shifts back shortly after. But like, I was like, wait, why are they annoyed with each other? But we're past that now, so it's okay. But yeah, I was confused for a second. But now currently we're at chapter 27, and we're with Duncan, and something just happened, and I thought it was pretty cool, to be honest. I was like, that right there is my kind of book. Like, you know how people like different scenes that are a bit tropey, a bit cliche tropes, but everyone loves it for it. Yeah, we just came across a self-sacrificing scene, and I was like, oh my goodness, I love a bit of self-sacrifice. I do. As long as it's not dumb, and it doesn't actually result in death. Just a bit of harm. You know, just a little bit of non-death self-sacrificing. I don't like dumb ones, but I like some good ones. Great description there. Great. I am an author. Can you tell? I blame it on 7 o'clock brain, because by this time of day, you shouldn't be using your brain. You should just be winding down for the day. But that's just crazy work. So anyway, enough rambling from me. I'm really enjoying it. and I thought I'd give you that update. And now I'm going to go back to the lounge, maybe grab myself some ice cream with some mini M&Ms, and continue reading. Because honestly, we'll see how many pages I have left to do tomorrow if I don't just binge it. I shouldn't binge it. If it gets too late, I need to go to bed. Even if there's like 50 pages left, I must sleep. But at the same time, the temptation will be there, so I'll let you know. Welcome to the final update of this video. Why? Because I finished the Huntress last night. At 10:30 p.m. I finished it. I just sat down and read. Let's be honest. Once I get into it, as I say, it's more me. It's nothing to do with the book. It's just my distraction level and motivation. And honestly, as soon as I got into reading yesterday, zoomed through it, just didn't really stop except for snacks and a few combos with my mother. But yeah, finished it. There were a few points where I felt like we were reiterating the same thoughts that the characters had been going through previously, and then I thought, oh, we've come to a change, but then we ended up in the same thought process, and I'm like, wait, I thought we'd dealt with this, which, you know, shows the wrestling we as Christians do with our own thoughts and, you know, vengeances and that sort of thing. So, like, I understand, but also as an outsider, it is frustrating when they keep going back to the exact same thought pattern. And I felt like some of the going back to that thought pattern just didn't make sense to me. I was like, why are we suddenly angry at each other again? Like, I didn't understand how we were suddenly like, I hate this person so much. And I was like, wait, what? What? I thought, what? But I did enjoy the book. There were just, a few points where I'm like, wait, why do we have to be angry at each other again? And it's definitely set up for future books, because there's several things that aren't tied up and several people missing, and you just don't know what's going to go on. It was one of those books where I did have to zone out every now and then just to bring my anxiety down. I just gazed off and came up with my own little plot to satisfy my anxiety, and then I'd come back to it. Because it's all war and, you know, different things that you're like, okay, who are the bad guys? But it was a good book. I don't know what to rate it. I think I'm going to give it a 4.5. Because I did really enjoy myself. And obviously, once I got into it, there were, just a couple of moments where I'm like, okay, we've done this. We've already been through this. But it is accurate to the human struggle against our own prior beliefs and that sort of thing. So now, I'm going to wrap up the video. As I say, this video is not what it was set out to be. So I don't know what has happened. To be honest, I don't know which clips I will include, which ones were ruined by the editing program on my phone that I didn't realize until I uploaded it onto my computer. We'll see what the editing program ate and what survived. And yeah, thank you for watching this random vlog if you made it this far. But my following ones will be Journey Through the Bible vlogs and, all that sort of fun, hopefully more intriguing vlogs, and not just, I have no idea what is this. Instead of, I don't know what this vlog consisted of, it will be more, I know what is in this vlog. And it's more structured, maybe. No promises on this channel, because my energy levels with the chronic illness and the pain levels do dictate sometimes the results. 99% of the time, so we'll just see. But anyway, until the next vlog or wrap up or video, I hope you all have a lovely day, week, year, life. Until then, peace.
ATINY